Notes for my March 2025 reading of 2019 book Holy Envy by Barbara Brown Taylor. Today is Wednesday, 26 March 2025. I am Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle, and I talked through my book and reading notes for my March 2025 reading of an autobiography covering the spiritual journey of a woman named Barbara Brown Taylor. Holy Envy, Finding God in the Faith of Others by Barbara Brown Taylor, 2019 HarperOne edition. Hardcover, ISBN in the video description. I started the book on Saturday, 22 March 2025 and finished the book on Wednesday, 26 March 2025. It's 238 pages. It took me 5 days. I read 30 pages Saturday, 40 pages Sunday, 70 pages Monday, 40 pages Tuesday, 58 pages Wednesday. And it's an autobiography, but it really fixates kind of, it's on her spiritual journey, but it also covers kind of, she has taught at a university, and she taught the introductory religion course, for which at her university was Religion 101. I have taken an introduction to world religions myself, not from her, but when I got my bachelor's degree, that is actually a class I took. And so it's like I've been through that course myself with a different teacher on a rock in the middle of the ocean, as opposed to, I think it was East Coast. Yeah, United States of America. So I attended the University of Hawaii at Manoa. And so she kind of lays out teaching the different five different world religions: Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, and Buddhism. And so she kind of shares different stories for each of those. And a concept she brings up is holy envy, and kind of being envious of people with different religions, and then sometimes that affects how one practices one's own religion. So holy envy, of like the envy of what others is holy for other religions. And I'd say I give the book of 3 out of 5 stars because it is a book about religion. I feel it is okay to be biased about / towards one's own religion. So it's like, okay, that it's not like neutral in tone. I think religion is the one place where, like, if one's writing a book about religion, especially one's own religion, I would, that's like, it's a safe zone. Religion is, you should be allowed to be biased. It's your religion. That's my own personal sentiment about that. Okay, so yes, a little bit, because it could go really far, but like, if not a 1 star, it's a 3 out of 5. It's religion. Okay, so there we go. I was like, holy envy, anything somebody might on the surface be envious of me, that I brought up on the channel previously. And I was like, well, I went to church this past Sunday. John Bjorg, pastor, gave the sermon, First Lutheran Church of Richmond Beach. And I said, what would a miracle medical diagnosis be? Like, it's a gift from God, you know, which would put, if I get it, John Bjorg very high up on the, you know, speaking to God spectrum. And so I brought up diabetes, the family history of multiple people in my family tree, and I had some of the symptoms, and I was like, I actually pulled out, we have multiple medical manuals, and I pulled it out. I was like, let me see, okay, which one would I get? Because if the people were to be envious, I would guess it'd be of type 1, the weight loss one. And one of the biggest differentiators between type 1 and type 2 is that in type 1, people have trouble keeping the weight on. And another one that's relevant for me is abdominal cramps, and I have been menstruating for, without interruption, as in like no missed periods, for over 18.00 years, and every single time I have horrible abdominal cramps. And I was like, so there is, if I were to get one, type 1 is also like, is, per what I learned, more hereditary. So I'm like, well, and it's in the family, so type 1 might be the one, which would then be weight loss. And I'm like, people, so essentially you could eat like 3,000 or 4,000 calories a day as like a maintenance diet. Why? So on the surface, okay, people might be envious, but why might not they be? That's, you can't eat sugar. So that would be like going to order a bucket of wings and not being able to get a honey glaze or barbecue sauce. Okay, it'd be grilled chicken wings, which is what I used to eat when I ate chicken wings and drumsticks and stuff like that. Like living on my own, I didn't actually eat anything with a glaze, but it'd be the barbecue pulled pork sandwich without the barbecue sauce. Okay, and without the honey bun or whatever sweet bun it is, no butter, you know, stuff like that. So on the surface it sounds great, but it's like those 3,000 to 4,000 calories might be rather painful. It'd be my guess anyway. So on the surface it might be envious, but dig a little deeper and it might not be. And that might also translate to religion as well. So anyway, those are my notes for my March 2025 reading of 2019 book Holy Envy by Barbara Brown Taylor.